painful all around. Dark days when nothing seemed quite right. But something about them days with you always make the sky so blue. Always seem to make the world so bright. 'Cause it's magic when we're together. Sun shining on the weather. Magic when I am here with you. And I'm floating like a feather, smiling, what could be better? Life is magic being here with you. Ooh. Life is magic when I'm here with you.
Yellow blue summertime, watching as our worries float away. Feels like everything's going our way. Feels like everything's going our way.
Well, good evening and welcome to our study session of January 8th. Before I take a roll call, I want to thank you all for coming. We've got quite a few things going on in terms of recognitions and a proclamation, so we're going to work through those. Please muffle and stifle your enthusiasm for a football game that's also going on at this time. So No spontaneous whoops coming out of the school district area over there, please. So, but anyway, we're glad you're here. I'm glad that as a city, we have so much to celebrate. And with that, clerk, please take the roll.
Mayor Hartke,
Here.
Vice Mayor Orlando,
Here.
Councilmember Asinas,
Present.
Councilmember Ellis,
Present.
Councilmember Stewart,
Here.
Councilmember Harris,
Here.
Councilmember Poston.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you, City Clerk. In terms of our scheduled public appearances, Councilmember Stewart, if you would join me up front. All right, first on our agenda tonight are service recognitions, and let me turn this over to our city manager.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of the City Council. We do have 3 employee service recognitions this evening. And the first one, I'd like to call Kim Moyers, our Cultural Development Director, forward to make the presentation.
Good afternoon. I'd like to call up Tracy Wyatt for her 10 years of service. Tracy joined the Art Center in 2013. She now serves as the Senior Management Analyst for the Art Center division. Tracy is an integral part of the leadership team, providing nonprofit financial expertise for the Cultural Foundation and impeccable financial and strategic skills for the division. Tracy was instrumental in collecting the data and supporting the application for the SBOG grant, which was secured the largest award in the center's history of $1.6 million. Tracy is deeply devoted to her faith and serves as the treasurer of the Family Bible Church. Prior to joining the city, Tracy and her husband Don owned their own technology firm for over 10 years. Tracy is also a proud mom of daughter Celeste, and both Don and Celeste are here to celebrate with Tracy today. We are so fortunate to have Tracy as part of Team Chandler. Thank you, Tracy.
Mayor and Council, the next 2 recognitions are for retirements from the city. And for the first one, I'd like to call upon our Deputy City Manager and Chief Financial Officer, Dawn Lang.
Thank you, City Manager. I would like to ask John Sherrill, our Environmental Services Manager, to come forward and be recognized. So John Sherrill has been with the city for almost 23 years. He began his career with the city in May of 2001 as a stormwater programs coordinator in Public Works. In October 2006, he moved to Management Services, and we were lucky to have him as the Environmental Program Coordinator, and was then promoted to the Environmental Services Manager in February 2016. After almost 23 years assisting departments in keeping Chandler facilities environmentally compliant, John is heading into a well-deserved retirement. John and his wife Amanda, who's here this evening, will be living in the Quad Cities, that's Iowa, Illinois area, very cold, with their 2 Australian shepherds, Rowan and Sapphire. Amanda will continue teaching music at Augustana University, and John, being extremely creative, may continue making beautiful handcrafted writing pens, roast coffee beans, or maybe something new. John's great sense of humor, passion for service, and extensive environmental regulation knowledge will be missed. And I think our city manager will miss John because he is a fellow U of A alumni. Thank you for almost 23 years serving the city of Chandler. We wish you great adventures in the years to come, John.
Mayor and Council, for our last retirement recognition this evening, if I could please ask our Chief of Police, Sean Duggan, to come forward to be recognized for his retirement from the city of Chandler. Mayor and Council, it's my honor this evening to recognize Chief of Police Sean Duggan on his retirement after 10 years with the city of Chandler and 38 years in law enforcement. Chief Duggan joined the Chandler Police Department on January 13th, 2014, after serving 27 years with the Scottsdale Police Department. He began his law enforcement career shortly after graduating from ASU with a degree in justice studies, following in the footsteps of his father, who served as a New York City police officer. Working in nearly every aspect of policing, he steadily rose through the ranks, culminating in the rank of assistant chief. Not initially seeing himself as a chief of police one day, when selected by our former city manager, Rich DeLugas, for this role in 2014, he called joining the Chandler Police Department the greatest honor that can be bestowed upon me professionally. In Chandler, Chief Duggan has brought a renewed sense of professionalism and innovation to our police department. He spearheaded the implementation of new technologies such as body cameras and text to 911, and the development of the Chandler Public Safety Training Center. He also elevated Chandler's reputation as a respected agency both locally and nationally, serving leadership roles with the International Association of Chiefs of Police, the National Joint Terrorism Task Force, and the Arizona Criminal Justice Commission, among many others. Despite all of the Chandler Police Department's national acclaim and the incredibly safe community we enjoy today, Chief Duggan's greatest achievement is the team he has built. Sean, we've had the privilege of working together these last nearly 7 years, and particularly the past 3. In that time, I've known you to be a passionate defender of and advocate for your people, always pushing for new tools, resources, and support for those under your command. I know you feel confident in your decision to retire, knowing that the Chandler Police Department is in great hands. Being a chief of police is an incredibly difficult job, one in which you frequently find yourself in the eye of the storm and having to make the kind of hard decisions nobody wants to make. You have met the challenge with integrity and bravery, and our community is better for it. In particular, I want to thank your wife, Mary, who's here tonight as well, and your children for their patience in sharing you with us this past decade. Congratulations on your well-deserved retirement, Sean. We wish you all the best in this next chapter of your life. You want me to hold it? You stand behind. Why don't you get behind here? That's awesome. Thank you very much. Stay here. So, Council, I'll give each of you a chance if you'd like to say something as well, and I'll start. So, when I first became mayor, someone came up to me and said, "Can I have a key to the city?" And I said, "Well, what have you done?" He said, thought about it and said, "Nothing. And in fact, I don't even live here." So I said, "Well, to get a key to the city, you really have to have extraordinarily contributed to this community. And for that reason, I'd like to give you one. You have made a tremendous impact on our city. You have made us really what I would call a pride of the nation. And your demeanor, your efficiency, your fairness, to me, have all contributed, as well as just the results that we have seen, to really make Chandler as one of the best cities, not just in Arizona, in the entire nation. And there's lots of factors, great schools, of course, but without saying that we are an extremely safe city, all those other things would be in jeopardy. So from myself and from City Council, we'd like to give you this key to the city as well.
Let me start with Councilmember Stewart, then we'll work away if anyone else would like to make comments.
Mayor, thank you very much. You should. Um, I got to tell you, Chandler is fortunate. We live in a community that loves our police, loves our fire department. I know from going into many donut shops over the years that our police officers don't pay for coffee in this town, and that's remarkable. But it's because there's a culture in our police department that started with Sean. It's a culture of pride. It's a culture of customer service and respect and mutual respect. We don't get complaints about the police department in at city hall, and it's because, and I've been on ride-alongs, and y'all can too. But you go out, and these men and women of our police department have a demeanor with the community that you just don't hear about. And so we're lucky, and that started 10 years ago when Sean joined the police department. And so I'm proud of our police department, and I know it starts here. It's with the leadership with your assistant chiefs, the sergeants. It permeates through the entire culture of the police department, and it's why we have the the lowest crime rate that Chandler's ever experienced for violent crime is happening in 2023, and that's a testament to Chief Duggan. So I'm grateful for you, for my family, just personally, for being able to live in a safe community like this. So thank you very much, and I wish you the very best in your retirement.
I got one right here. Chief, I just want to say thank you so much for your years of dedication here to the city of Chandler. You have definitely set the bar and you have upheld the Chandler brand. We could not have been here. We would not be here today without you and your service. So I do just want to thank you so much for that. We only got to work together for 1 year, but I've seen you many more years leading Chandler as a resident. And today I'm happy to have worked with you for this past year. So I thank you and I wish you the best for your retirement. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief, for everything you have done. Raising a Black male son in the city of Chandler um, was a bit easier knowing that you were at the realm of this city. And the night that my son died in Chandler Hospital, you were standing right there with me. And I remember it was the moment that you walked in, that's when my knee buckled because I just saw you, and his name is Sean, and your name is Sean. And when I said Sean, and that's where it really dawned on me what was happening. And you stood there with me that night. You didn't have to, but you were there. And for that, I'm grateful. This city is grateful for what your wife and your children have allowed you to accomplish here. I want to thank your wife for making sure that every night when you come home, that you are rejuvenated for the next morning to be here with us again. And for that, I'm grateful. As I said, it's not going to be the same because I remember when I was running for council, you were the first person that I sat down with to ask if there was one thing that you would like to see in this city, what would it be? And you opened your heart to me and told me. And I felt that I had lived to that by giving you what your heart mostly wanted, which is to have a department where mental health is going to be the priority here for your guys and also for the people of Chandler. Thank you again for accepting the key of the city and for having worked to put us where we are right now. And may tomorrow bring you a day that you will feel that the best is yet to come. Thank you.
All right, Chief. Well, it's the retirement, and I gotta tell everyone, although Chief seems so stern, he is probably one of the most compassionate human beings you'll ever meet. He really do care about his job. He really do care about the people of Chandler. And I can tell you, I've had so many constituents come up to me and tell me that they sleep better knowing that Chief was at the helm of the city of Chandler. And I can't say enough that during the time where our city needed you to step up the most, and during the time that we really needed you to show your leadership, you showed your leadership, and you continue to keep our city safe. Um, During protests going on throughout the nation, no one came to the city of Chandler. No one harmed anything. You made sure that you kept an orderly moment and you allow people to exercise their freedom of speech, and you never try to stop that freedom of speech. And for that, I think that's probably something that you and we've talked about. I think that's one of your greatest moments when you was able to allow people to express how they felt, whether we agree with it or not. But I just want to tell you, um, it's been 4 years. It's been amazing serving with you. And thank you for always picking up your phone from me. Thank you for always listening to me. Thank you for the coffees that we've had. Thank you for being able to just to be a person I can just lean on and depend on. And I know that you think you're retiring. You're just going to your next phase of me calling you. But I also want to thank your wife and your family, and you know that she keeps you lifted. And thank you for putting Chandler first. And I know your family had to make a lot of sacrifices so you can continue to keep us first. But I want to tell you, thank you so much. Use that key well. It opens up the mayor's house. Thank you again, Chief. Thank you.
Well, Chief, when I first came on council, you set me up with a tour of all of your facilities, and then later in the term, you set me up with a ride along with your staff. And the pride that emanates from every one of your staff from being part of Chandler emanates all the way through the community, and the community has pride in its police department. And I thank you for your leadership and of that, and what you've done for me in introducing me to your police department and everything that you've done and all the things that I didn't know. I appreciate it. I wish you the best. Good luck in retirement. Thank you for your service. Thank you for all of the years that you've been here. And I'll echo what Councilmember Harris said. Thank you to your family, because any police officer, from the chief right down to anyone that's there, it is a family job. And I appreciate you and the sacrifices your family has made, and wish you nothing but the best in retirement.
Vice Mayor, would you like to add any comments?
Thank you. Hey, Sean, thank you very much for your many years of service, not just to our community, but more importantly, I think your leadership on a national level. A lot of folks don't realize that you have been greatly involved in setting standards and training, not just for Arizona and our local, but for the nation. That must be an epitome of your career, and I'm sure you're very proud of those activities. So, good luck to you in your future endeavors, and all the best to you and the family. I made that without coughing. I did it.
Thank you. Chief, once again, thank you. And we'll see you on Thursday. Oh, would you like to say something?
I think I need to say something at this point. But just real briefly, I just want to say that it has been the absolute greatest honor and privilege to serve as your chief, but really to work alongside so many courageous, talented, and dedicated men and women who help every single day to keep our city safe. And it's that partnership that we've developed over many years that has made Chandler such a great city, but specifically a very safe city, because of your support and really working with the community. We have something very special here, and I'm confident as a resident that will continue. The city's in great hands. We have a deep leadership bench, and the trajectory will continue to go upwards and onwards. So thank you.
So Thursday, I'll be bringing that photo of you wearing a fireman's outfit that I still have stored on my archives. All right, next on our agenda is recognition our Public Works Equipment Rodeo Awards. And we did some extraordinary things this last year, and John Knutson is going to tell us about it.
Well, thank you, Mayor and Council, for the opportunity to highlight the great work that our Public Works, Streets, and Traffic Divisions do for the city. I'd like to invite all of the Public Works, Streets, and Traffic folks up. We've got quite a few here tonight. Charlie. So, the Streets and Traffic Division's 56 field staff are responsible for the care and maintenance of the city's 2,100 lane miles of roadway, 3,000 drains, catch basins, and dry wells, 240 traffic signals, 29,000 streetlights, 40 miles of alleys, 420 acres of right-of-way landscape, and just about 52,000 road signs. With a staff this small, they couldn't do all of that unless they were the very best at what they do. Fortunately, every year there's a statewide competition called the Maintenance Superintendents Association Rodeo, spelled ROADEO, where public works organizations from across the state can come together and showcase their skills. In this year's competition, not only did we win and place, but we also took the show with first place finishes in asphalt patch, concrete repair, street light install, sign placement, and backhoe operations. We also placed third in traffic marking and, the most important, the free throw competition. And with all these outstanding performances, Chandler was also chosen best of the best for this year's competition. Not only this year, but looking at the trophy, we've gotten it 5 years out of the past 11. So tremendous, tremendous show. I'd like to thank each of you for your great work you do for our city and truly demonstrating what Team Chandler is all about. Thank you very much, guys.
Congratulations. Let's, John, come on up. Let's take a photo. Councilmember Stewart reminded me that a former Phoenix City Council member was my biggest advocate of Chandler roads, and he always deplored his own, but he would always rave about Chandler, and this is the team that brought us all of those accolades, so thank you. Next on our recognitions is Chandler Unified School District. That was rated Best School District by Niche, and I'd like to invite Frank Narducci to come on up. As the proud parent of 4 graduates of CUSD, I affirm that statement. And this has been proven time and time again through our students' experiences, educational offerings, and Niche is one of the leading school search websites. Recently recognized Chandler Unified as the 2024 Best District and #1 Best School District in Arizona for both academics and athletics. So congratulations, CUSD. Frank.
Mayor, thank you. Council members, thank you very much. Also, City of Chandler executive team, thank you very much. We are not only proud, but honored to be a part of this community, a part of a community that has grown together, that supports each other as well. We've had relationships with the city and their support for decades, for the century. We grew together. It's symbiotic. And we are so appreciative of your unwavering support of our children, our students. It's not only an award, it's not only a one-time thing, but this community has been so supportive of Chandler Unified School District. As a matter of fact, 23% of the students that live in our area choose Chandler schools, which is one of the highest capture rates of any district in the state. So that means that they're choosing Chandler. But it's not only because of the district, it's because the city is one of the best in the nation. It's a livable city. It's a great place to raise children. And the support that they get, many of us have raised our kids here in Chandler, which is a credit to the wonderful city that it is. But also, It also takes place with our community businesses and our industries that have supported the schools, our nonprofits that make sure our families are ready to come to schools. It's not a district doing it alone, it's all of us working together. We take our role very seriously in developing the next workforce for the city of Chandler. And so our kids have to come out prepared for the 4 E's, whether it be enrollment, whether it be enlistment, whether it be employment, or whether they want to be an entrepreneur. And that's our dedication, is to make sure our kids come out with a graduation certificate plus, that they are ready to go and they have a lot of opportunity ahead of them. We take this very seriously, but niche is just one ranking. 30 of our schools were recognized by US News and World Report as being the best in the nation and the best in the state. That's 30 schools. It's very hard for a large district to have this kind of quality for so long. In addition to that, we have 7 more schools than ever before in the history of Chandler Unified that were rated as A schools by the Department of Education, which brings it to a total of 30 schools that have the A rating, which also led to the district being another A-rated school district. Again, a district that serves 43,300 students every day. In addition to that, we thank our chamber and businesses. We thank all of our business partners for coming in and helping us do what we do every day, and we are affirming that commitment. What's coming out, and I'll just say it now, is there's going to be a ranking coming out by Stephanie. Ranking Arizona. I wanted to say ranking.com because you never know who these people are. But I think Ranking Arizona ranks everything, the best waffle, the best whatever. But we will be ranked also as best school district. But this happens not by us alone. This team here is our cabinet. This is our executive team. These are the people that make the decisions that impact our children and that work with our team of 5,200 employees every day that come to work with the and then some attitude to make a difference in everybody's lives. So thank you all for your support. We appreciate you very much. And we know what you do is very hard, but you do it well. Thank you.
All right, Jennifer, line us up. Thank you again. Okay. Y'all don't need to leave. You can stay. Wow, leaving us for a football game. Okay, our next recognition is the Parade of Lights winner. So if I could have Ermelinda Llamas come on up. Our annual tumbleweed tree lighting and Parade of Lights is one of my favorite Chandler traditions, and we do it so well. There were so many creative entries. I would like to thank our Mayor's Youth Commission for judging this year, as their job was not easy. And I would also be remiss if I did not thank Ermelinda and her team for their work to make this event a success. I'd like to congratulate all of our winners, and let's get started with the awards.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, Mayor. It's my honor to recognize the 2023 Parade of Lights winners. It's a long-standing tradition with the City of Chandler, many families, organizations, schools, and businesses to attend and participate each year. We are excited to present the winners of the 2023 Parade of Lights and thank them for all their hard work and participation. We will have each representative from the winners come up when they're announced. Let's start with our first category, Best Lit Musical or Dance Group. Our second place winner for this category is Oasis Ensembles. Unfortunately, they are unable to be with us tonight, but we still want to thank them for their participation and their winning efforts. Our first place, yes. Our first place winner for Best Lit Musical and Dance Group goes to Carlson Big Spirit Line. Accepting their award tonight is Kelly Marietta and Kat Kendrickson. Sorry. And all of these lovely young ladies. We want to thank them for their spirit and what they brought to the parade and putting a wonderful display on for our community.
They gotta do their fight song now. Let's hear it, girl.
Thank you, ladies. All right, moving on to our next category, Best Lit Community Group. Our second place is awarded to Spark of the Holidays, Colleen Engineer and Sandy Lucas. Are they here tonight? Come on up, ladies. Are here to accept the award. We appreciate and celebrate their tiny but mighty entry and all the effort it took for them to be part of the Parade of Lights this year. We're the Grinch car. Thank you. You're welcome. Congratulations. Our first place in Best Lit Community Group goes to Chandler Unified School District Transportation. And accepting their award tonight is Sonia Jones and Tom Guringer. CUSD Transportation always puts so much work and effort into their floats, and this year is no exception, with their yellow submarine as a crowd pleaser. We look forward to seeing what their creative minds come up with next year.
No.
Wonderful. Congratulations. Oh, one more picture? You got it?
Did you get yours?
All right. Thank you. Our next category is Best Lit Business Group. Our second place winner is Junk Brothers. Although they were unable to be here tonight, we do want to thank them and appreciate their participation and enthusiasm for the Parade of Lights. Our first place in Best Lit Business Group goes to Butt Tray Magazines. Accepting the award tonight is Jessica and Tiffany Gwynn. There they are. We love seeing new businesses take part in this iconic event with all of their creativity on display. You got it? One more, I think. Congratulations again. The next category is always a favorite of the parade watchers and participants, biggest and brightest. Our second place is awarded to Chandler Youth Baseball, and accepting the award tonight is Lisa and Justin Sutton. Are they here? This group brought an awesome display to the Parade of Lights, and everyone loved seeing them. First place and biggest and brightest goes to Copper State Four Wheelers. And here to accept their award tonight are Jim Nossett and Mike Knowles. This club was formed in 1972 by a group of families to promote safe and enjoyable family-style four-wheeling. And lucky for us, they choose to bring their lit up four-wheelers to Chandler each year. Thank you. And our final award for the evening is Judge's Choice, and it goes to Chandler Unified School District Transportation. And, yeah. And accepting the award for their great entry is Sonia Jones and Tom Guringer. CUSD Transportation has been a staple in the Parade of Lights for many years, and they now receive their second award for this entry of their Yellow Submarine.
Now you know why we're the best. It's Transportation's award.
All right. Congrats to all our winners, and thank you to everyone who participated in the 2023 Parade of Lights. We know creating these entries are a labor of love and is appreciated and recognized by all. Thank you and have a good evening.
Thank you, Melinda. And thank you again for, I think we had our highest attendance ever this year at the parade. And you guys always do an amazing job of creating an amazing memory and night for our community. So thank you. Next on our agenda tonight is a proclamation, Anti-Human Trafficking Month. So if I could have Pastor Mike Gowans, Pastor Bill Kirkpatrick, Pastor Jason Turner, Pastor David Wright, Pastor Carl Whitmer, and anybody else that's part of your gang. You guys get in the middle here. All right, I'm going to read a proclamation and then turn it over to you, Pastor Gowans, for any comments you'd like to make. Whereas human trafficking is a global plague that impacts millions of people each year, including tens of thousands of Americans, and whereas the United States ranks as one of the worst countries globally for human trafficking, and Arizona ranks in the top 15 states with the highest rates of human trafficking per capita, and whereas human trafficking impacts people across all demographics and ages, including teenagers and children, and whereas the battle against human trafficking includes supporting efforts in schools and churches and nonprofits, law enforcement, and businesses to prevent human trafficking, intervene, disrupt, and dismantle human trafficking syndicates, and provide resources to and support for victims of human trafficking. And whereas the city of Chandler was recognized by the Arizona Anti-Trafficking Network for becoming a city empowered against sexual exploitation, or CEASE, designated city, highlighting the collective efforts to eradicate human trafficking and sexual exploitation within Arizona. And whereas the city of Chandler joined schools and churches and nonprofits, law enforcement, federal and state coalitions, and the NotInOurCity.org movement in the commitment to increase public awareness of the human trafficking epidemic that impacts our community, state, nation, and world. Now, therefore, I, Kevin Hartke, Mayor of the City of Chandler, Arizona, do hereby proclaim the month of January 2024 as Anti-Trafficking Month. Pastor Gowan, would you like to share some comments or the event coming up?
Yeah, thank you. And thank you, City Council, for and the City of Chandler for just being leaders against this fight. 6 years ago, we started with an event here in downtown Chandler called Night of Hope, and that has continued to last year being at Gamage Auditorium, where we had over 50 churches, dozens and dozens of elected officials, celebrities, pro athletes. Many of you have attended and supported, and it's making a difference. You know, this is a darkness none of us wants to talk about. We don't even want to acknowledge it, but we have to. And we're shining a light and driving out that darkness and making a difference. And so this year, Night of Hope 6 is going to Grand Canyon University. They're partnering with us, giving us the basketball arena, where, again, we already have many celebrities, pro athletes, elected officials. You're all invited there. City Council is VIP guests. We would love to have you there. And we're supporting dozens of frontline ministries that are fighting, and that night recognizing them there, again, bringing awareness. We got to continue to shine the light and drive this darkness out of our cities. This proclamation, again, being made this year, we're believing for dozens of cities making. We have 91 cities in the state of Arizona. I discovered that in the past year. And so we're believing for 91 proclamations. Again, Chandler, you are leading the way in fighting this and making a difference. So thank you. February 18th, Grand Canyon University. It's a Sunday, and it'll be at 5 o'clock. And we would love to have everyone watching, anyone you can let know, come. It is a night of hope as we shine a light on this darkness. And so we'll celebrate wins, we'll celebrate the victories that are going on, honor those there that night. But again, thank you for this time and for this proclamation.
Let's take a Thank you all for your tireless work.
Our last public appearance is by Mr. Syed Taha. And Mr. Taha, come on up, state your name and address for the record. And as you know, you have up to 3 minutes. When the light turns yellow, please wrap up your comments and be done when it turns red. Thank you, sir.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate you guys having me over, and I love coming here. And my whole goal is as a public service. We all live here. I've been living in Chandler for almost 25 years. I used to live at 1736 East Fry. This is about a mile and a half from here. Now I live at 1010 East Kaibab. And we just recognize the police chief, and no one is perfect. Now, I don't want to be the party pooper on his retirement. I would like to say what happened under his supervision. And I brought this to his attention, and he said he will talk to me after the case is dismissed, and he never called me back. Now, the reason is I want to go ahead and address the public at large for the benefit of innocent citizens. I don't want them to go through the same thing that I went through under the Chandler Police Department, under Mr. Dugan's leadership. August 2021, Chandler Police raided my house and violated in violation of search warrant, arrested me in front of my children, charged me with horse neglect, 7 felony counts, dragged me through 2 years of court appearances, closed my business, took my travel lights, traumatized my whole family. I cannot describe the horror and the trauma my children endured. The detectives who arrested me lied about everything. They lied about my horse's condition, and then what they did was eventually they replaced the horse that were my horses and made a 160-page report of the dying horse that they found wherever they found it. And then the state did not want to prosecute me because when they picked up my horses, there was no evidence of any neglect. So then the city of Chandler sent in January of 2022 a report and asked them to prosecute me. And then then the state prosecuted me, and then I told them all the information that is available to me, that this is not my horse, and every single information that's on the police report, that's on every single document, is false. After 2 years of me running after the state, they dismissed the case. And before they dismissed the case, I talked to the police chief, and I told him this is what is happening. He should have investigated and dropped the case. I talked to the mayor, Kevin Hartke, and I brought it to his attention, and he said, we cannot do anything about it because there's a pending case going on. It cost the state of Arizona almost $250,000. It cost me 2 years of my life, and nobody cares. And my goal is to bring this attention to the Chandler Police, Chandler Mayor, Chandler Council, so this doesn't happen to someone else. Now, then I filed a case. I came here and talked to, after the case was dismissed in June, and I talked to you guys, and I said, this is what happened, and then nobody cares. And then I came last month also.
Thank you, Mr. Taha. Your time's up.
Give me about 30 more seconds.
I'll let you finish your paragraph.
No problem. So all I'm asking is compensate me for the wrongdoing that was done, that you stole my horses, pay me for my horses, and do something about, just do an investigation on what actually happened, and all the information that you have is false. Talk to me and interview me. I'll tell you everything that is false, that
Thank you, Mr. Taha.
is being presented to you by the police. Thank you.
And I think, City Attorney, I know you have given Mr. Taha paths that some he's explored and some is exploring. And if he would like more of paths to pursue this, he certainly has opportunities. Is that correct?
Mayor, there are very limited opportunities at this point, but I can assure you that Mr. Said has explored a lot of opportunities, including filing a case in court.
Okay, so
It
he's
was
done.
subsequently dismissed.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you. Councilmember Stewart.
Thank you, Mayor. Kelly, would you mind getting me some information on why the case was dismissed, if that's even available? I'll just be curious.
Mayor, Councilmember Stewart, I'm happy to provide that
Thank you.
to the council.
Next on our agenda tonight is our consent agenda. And we've only had one item called in by Councilmember Poston on item number 4, a briefing on our Certified Autism Center agreement. So, John Septon.
Well, thank you, Mayor and Councilmember Poston, for bringing this one forward. Good evening, Mayor and Council. This request for you is to approve an agreement to qualify the Community Services Department, Parks and Recreation Divisions with a Certified Autism Center designation, and of course authorize the city manager to execute the agreement. The Community Services Department, Parks and Rec Divisions are seeking the authorization to engage the International Board of Credentialing and Continuing Education Standards, also known as IBCCES, and to enter into an agreement supporting the department's designation as the Certified Autism Center. IBCCES is recognized as an industry leader in cognitive disorder training and certification for education, healthcare, corporate, and travel and entertainment professionals around the globe. For over 20 years, IBCCES has provided evidence-based training and certification programs created in conjunction with its board of clinical and subject matter experts and autistic individuals to provide professionals with a better understanding of autism and other neurodivergencies. The program will enhance awareness and understanding of autism-related challenges and include safety and communication protocols and best practices. To qualify, a minimum of 80% of our Parks and Recreation staff that are in the customer-facing areas will be trained. Additionally, IBCCES will conduct 5 facility audits that aim to offer valuable suggestions on enhancing accessibility and other ways to improve those facilities. These audits and recommendations will focus on strategies that make Chandler's community spaces more inclusive and accommodating for people with autism and sensory needs. The agreement itself is a 5-year term. It features ongoing staff and supervisory training, that 5 facility audit, and our financial commitment of just over $9,900. Probably the lowest item that you'll take action on Thursday as far as cost. So why is it important? Individuals with autism have unique and special needs. Because it is described as a spectrum disorder, no two will be alike. Some will function at a higher level, and others will require different sets of needs and take different sensitivities to things like light and sound and touch. All of that may cause an individual to become upset or dysfunctional in whatever recreational setting they may be in. A trained staff will provide a seamless experience for the participants and the entire family. It's important. Some of the figures provided by IBCCES are that 1 in 6 people have a sensory need. There's been a 600% increase in autism diagnoses over the past several years, and 1 in 44 children are now diagnosed with autism. So I want to recognize our staff as champions, Becky Kuiper, Recreation Superintendent, and the Adaptive Recreation Team for Colette and Sarah for bringing this item forward as a way for us to be better educated and to be intent on creating and making sure our programs and facilities are accessible and comfortable for all. And with that, Mayor and Council members, I'd be happy to do my best to answer any questions.
Thank you, John. Councilmember Poston.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, John. I've been supportive of this item. I think we talk a lot about diversity, equity, and inclusion, and this is really at the heart of inclusion, and I think that sometimes gets forgotten. So I was so excited when this first came up to see what your department is doing. Can you just, and what I really like is also that you're focusing on the customer-facing employees and that they'll be doing that work. Could you just give us an idea of what that means in terms of practical application? Is it being able to recognize people that maybe have some special needs? Because like you said, everybody's different. Or will you be doing some marketing, or so when people come to our facilities, they'll know that maybe there's an employee they can talk to? How does it work in a practical sense?
Great. One of the fortunate things is we're not the first to effort in this arena. A number of cities, including my former city at the library, they've for 2 years now been trained and have been in this practice, and I'm hearing very positive things that both from the public as well as the clients that everybody serves, but just the general awareness from staff. And I wanted to roll through maybe some of the different, there's 5 or 4 different levels of training that the association brings to us. So covering autism, just an overview. So our frontline staff, lifeguards, will actually receive an aquatics specific level of training. There is evidence that individuals with autism are experiencing a higher rate of drowning in aquatic incidents. So this is something that with our lifeguards and our training and all the efforts that we're putting into that program, in its essence, this is one more level. But for that level 1, all of those that are front facing, whether it's our camp counselors, our recreation front desk, our coaches, our other folks that are working in sports in different areas, they will receive autism and sensory awareness training. As a second level, which will be including some of the managers and the supervisories, you'll start to get into some of the behavior recognition and modification opportunities, really focusing on individuals' perspectives that may have autism or sensory needs. They are also focusing at that level on parent communication. I think back to some of my early times in running camps in the 90s, when some of the first diagnoses in my experience were coming out where parents had no idea what was going on with their children, and the pain and the anguish and the frustration that they went through, I feel it. And I think that had I received this type of training then, and we're just there, we're getting there. And this is such a dynamic for our society right now. But this is one of those, they've even broken a higher level to include not just the individual perspective, but how we will approach this as a community. And then when you get into some of the other comorbidities associated with some of the diagnoses and the different types of issues, those are ways that as a public health, not as an agency, but as a Parks and Rec agency, ways that we can help impact lives really, really deeply, from having awareness, knowledge, and helping families that are experiencing the circumstance to be able to access and connect. The opportunity to take a nice walk in a park and have certain experiences is one. Being in a program like a summer camp or having an opportunity for a child to learn and explore and to grow, that's what we do every day through our programs. And this is without one more level of training for the specific arena.
And have you already, or will you, as part of this program, reached out to Chandler residents who maybe need the services? Or will that be part of the program to communicate with families who need the assistance?
I couldn't be more proud of our adaptive recreation team with our Camp Challenge, our Special Olympics teams. We go through a very, very service-oriented set of programs. And this council has supported for years those programs. And we have a great community support. Starting there is the first and foremost, training and educating the staff. That part of this will also be that nomenclature. When we can step up and say that we're a certified autism center and be able to demonstrate, I sense that there'll be more people, more families that will feel that need to connect with us, to be able to connect with our services.
Okay. Well, you're doing exactly what you're supposed to do. Thank you to you and all your staff for doing that and taking on that challenge.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Councilmember.
Council, any additional questions? All right. Thank you, sir. Yeah. Council, no other items were called in, so that concludes our study session. We'll see you on Thursday.